to be together again in person for the 2022 We're back, bigger and better than ever. You know, so much has happened since we last gathered here for this event in 2019. Think about it. That was before COVID upended our lives. That was before the murder of George Floyd, Breonna Taylor, and Ahmaud Arbery really thrust racism and injustice into the national spotlight. That was before we nearly lost our democracy on January 6th, and before racists openly marched through the streets of Boston. Since our last gathering, we've endured the Great Resignation, global supply chain issues. We've seen Roe versus Wade overturned. And we've also been witness to history as the city of Boston got its first Black mayor. That was followed by the election of the city's first woman of color, Mayor Michelle Wu. And if anyone had told me that any one of those things would have happened in just 3 short years, I wouldn't have believed them. But yet, here we are. And as I look out in this crowd of inspiring leaders, it's undeniable that we are poised to be the change that we are looking for. As a community, we're going to the polls, we're making our voices heard on matters of equity, opportunity, and access. And the ranks of Black professionals in leadership positions in government, higher education, philanthropy, and private businesses, they're expanding. We're also growing our ecosystem of Black-led organizations like King Boston and the New Commonwealth Fund, and many, many others. But despite this positive momentum, we can't discuss the progress towards achieving racial and economic justice within the Massachusetts Black community without first addressing some basic truths. First, Black workers and business owners have not yet benefited from the Massachusetts booming economy in the sectors of life sciences, real estate, and financial services. Second, starting and growing a business is difficult for anyone, but it's significantly more difficult for Black entrepreneurs who lack the access to needed capital. And third, the goal of home ownership is still out of reach for far too many Black residents. In 2015, the Federal Reserve Bank of Boston conducted a study called the Color of Wealth. In that study, it was revealed that the average net worth of Black Boston households was only $8, and that's compared to $247,000 for white Boston households. That study and its findings exposed the scale and magnitude of the myriad of issues which stem from systemic racism. BECMA was born in 2015. We were born to disrupt and replace these systems and to make space for racial and economic justice. Today, our mission is to advance the economic well-being of Black businesses, organizations, and residents across the Commonwealth. And we do that through our advocacy, our business and leadership development, and through our strategic partnerships. This year alone, we've awarded over $350,000 in BECMA grants and directly supported over 100 businesses from across the Commonwealth. We've effectively advocated for equity-oriented policies with recent wins including the mass climate and the cannabis bills. We've successfully elevated issues at the state level and in the city of Boston, where important changes are being made on how contracts are being awarded, greater transparency and accountability, and access to capital, as well as other resources that Black residents and business owners need. So together, with our allies and partners, we've accomplished a lot in a short period of time. And though we've all endured a relentless wave of uncertainty due to unprecedented issues in environmental, economic, health, social, at BECMA, our path forward is clear. Our goal is to help to close the Massachusetts racial and opportunity gaps through our 4 pillars. First, entrepreneurship. It's essential that we nurture our startups as well as our existing business owners and get them the resources they need to start and scale their businesses. Second, placement. Placement is about putting more Black people, high school age and adults, in the Massachusetts skilled workforce. And it's also about making sure that our Black leaders are placed in decision-making roles in management and on boards and commissions. Our third pillar is about ownership. Our goal is to help to increase the level of home ownership across the Commonwealth. But it's also about helping our business owners get a greater equity stake in their enterprises. And our 4th pillar is commerce. And this is the work that we do to help our businesses do all that they need to sell their goods and services, while also helping our ally buyers to remove those barriers that have prevented them from being effective in meeting their own supply diversity and ESG goals. I'm confident that our pillars, enabled by our advocacy and our strategic partnerships, will allow us to achieve our goals in getting greater access, equity, and opportunities, and will bring about a more inclusive and productive Massachusetts economy. Our approach will generate billions in Massachusetts. Think about that. But we know dismantling systemic racism will take time, and it will take the support of our allies and partners. We need to relentlessly make the case that economic, environmental, and racial justice are all completely intertwined and are all necessary. We've been resilient, and I know we can do this. This is our time. BECMA was created to lead the way to a more equitable and inclusive Massachusetts economy, one that recognizes the power and brilliance and resiliency of the Massachusetts Black economy. That economy today drives $2 billion in revenues and employs over 15,000 workers. Most of them are Black and brown. The energy in this room, at this event, should give us all confidence that change is possible. Together, we will be able to make this impact if we continue to demand access, opportunity, and accountability. And if all of us are able to bring our level of commitment to a higher standard. How are we going to do this? Well, it starts today. Today at this expo, we'll focus on the big ideas needed to anchor your strategic goals. And tomorrow, on day 2, we'll focus on the resources needed to accomplish those goals. During our Mass Black Expo, it's our time to showcase the nearly 100 Black businesses and organizations in the pavilion, and to hear from over 60 speakers across 25 sessions. We'll also have a word from Congresswoman Ayanna Pressley. For those that are interested in pursuing municipal contracting, please register for our Vendor Advisory Council. You can find that information at the BECMA information desk. And don't forget to join us virtually tomorrow. You'll hear about resources from the State Supply Diversity Office, Mass Housing on Down Payment Assistance, and much more. Today, our WCVB MCs, Jessica Brown and Karen Holmes-Ward, will keep this main stage flowing. For the other events that we're holding today, please check your programs. And one final thought before I let you all go. I want you to take a moment and just look around this room. Everyone here in this room, and in the pavilion and other spaces, we're purposefully committed to closing the Massachusetts racial wealth gap. Make new friends and reconnect with old acquaintances, because together we will realize our shared vision for making Massachusetts more inclusive and productive. Thank you all for being here.